Almost perfect. I was actually
I was
pouring
going to say,
whiskey.
can I, real quick, it almost matched up completely.
Do you need a little more?
No.
No? Okay. It's a damn fine whiskey, isn't it?
It is a fabulous whiskey, but I have to wake up quite early.
So only your club's in the FA Cup, so I guess we got to keep talking about it. But it's the fourth round, so let's start the show.
Yeah.
Hey, third time's the charm.
Daddy hit the fucking post. Hello and welcome to the Drunken United Football Show, a completely biased preview of the FA Cup fourth round as told by two common American schmucks.
Did I say yeah? Was that one?
No, it was Houston hitting the post.
Oh.
I am your host, Sam Houston. That's Sam Graham. She's
No,
producer
No,
Mel.
fuck off. You give me a proper introduction, you twat. I'm Sam Graham. Give me something. Figure it out.
That's the annoying Sam Graham.
There we go. Yeah, that's fine.
And that's producer Mel, who thinks it's still injury time and has forgotten she needs to hit
I
the
just
mute
feel
button.
the need that
All
your
the mute button.
fans need to
All the
know
mute button.
This
So
is
much
your
mute
third
button.
show after all these drinks.
So much mute button. This
Yeah,
whiskey.
we're about 3/4 or so through a bottle of whiskey.
Oh, this whiskey's good.
I hit the wrong mute button.
Whiskey's nice. I'm really happy with this whiskey.
It is a good whiskey.
It's really because it's cold, because I normally tend to lay off the peaty stuff.
Right. And again, this is the Lefroy Triple Wood coming in at 96 proof, $44.99 to $49.99. Listen to the main show, and you'll hear to the rest of it.
And my stupid convenience store at the top of the street didn't have any fucking Ice House for me, even though I told them to order me fucking Ice House. So I'm drinking Bo, which, fine, I drink Bo. I fucks with the Bo, but no fucking Ice House, man. Where does this world come to? Taylor, I'm gonna drive out to
That is bad
Kansas
form.
tomorrow to get
Some Ice House.
Get some Ice House, because I know it's fully stocked in your store, sir. Because you, sir, are a true patriot and saint, and a believer in the
Patreon or
cause.
Patreon?
All of it.
Can't it be both?
Hey, see what I did there?
Like I s-
www.patreon.com
like I said,
/
everyone
DUfootball
buckle
Show.
up. They've been drinking.
You can also get in touch with us at DUfootball Show and DUfootballshow@gmail.com.
Look at you improvising
Look at
and
that.
getting in all the
And the at
important shit.
DUfootball Show part was on the social medias at Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook.
By the
Very
way,
good.
I've been playing DU Show football since the first show. One of the
You've
squares
been playing DU Show football.
since
Or
the
have,
first show.
have you been playing DU Football Show Bingo, which is written right there at the top of
Yes,
the page, or
yes,
DU
yes, yes,
Show
yes.
Football?
Both. One of the categories was you saying "drink responsibly" without prompting. So I appreciate
And I
you
did
giving
it.
Me that
Not
one.
a problem.
You're finally learning.
Careful. You're about to spill everything over there.
Houston coughing was also a square that I got.
And
Oh.
he just coughed with his hand still on the table and almost dumped the entire table over.
All right, so here's what we have left in the FA Cup. Let's get into it.
Yes, please.
We have 15 Premier League clubs. We have 11 Championship clubs. We have 4 clubs left from League One and 1 club left from League Two.
Who is going to promptly lose this weekend?
That is 31 spots because that is 32. That is 31 of the 32 spots because 2 teams still have a replay to play, and that would be Premier League side Watford having to travel to League One Tranmere Rovers up in the Merseyside because they coughed away at home a 3-0 lead.
To the only team on the Mersey. Tranmere Rovers.
Mike Dean's
very
number
own.
one.
Yeah, Mike Dino's very own.
Oh
That's
my God!
absolutely right.
Oh Jesus Christ! I forgot in the big show the most important part about Sheffield Arsenal.
What?
Mike Dean's 500th appearance.
Oh, it was his 500th
Reffing.
appearance. That's right.
I mean,
Well, now it's a little anticlimactic because it's probably he's already had his fifth 501.
Yeah.
He's already had his 501st, which
Do
is
you-
what I was trying to say at the start.
As a stupid gooner, do you feel honored to know
Absolutely,
that his 500?
100%.
Dino's 500th. Do you feel confident that he told somebody to fuck off and get the fuck up and
I
get
think-
the fuck over it? 'Cause
did he
that's
say-
a lot of what Dino's world is.
Did I see him mouth the word bollocks
Yeah,
during the match?
yeah.
Did I see that happen? Somebody, I think, got hit in the nuts, and somebody was complaining that maybe he dove. I don't remember the exact circumstances, but I think somebody came up to Dean complaining about the player down on the ground, and he said, "Mate, it's his bollocks." Yeah, right in the nuts there. Okay. Which there's no more Mike Dean milestone moment than that. That's fantastic.
So see, we were able to work that in, and it worked out just fine.
Yeah, absolutely,
So,
it did. And also, real quick, for Tranmere, good luck to our two new friends we made, who we mentioned on the main show.
Absolutely.
But I do want a quick mention for the two Tranmere coaches we met. One with the U16s, one with the U14s, Danny and Matt, who were at Slanja with us over the weekend. They were in town for the coaches. I guess I hit another one.
Did we hit another one?
Oh, no, I was muted. I just realized I had a double bingo because I had on the diagonal, fuck VAR, Sun, a free space, Houston misses the post, and the phrase "to be fair." So I have so far have 2 bingos.
Hold on. For anybody who's a Leonard Kenny fan, to be fair, to be fair, fair, to be fair. Oh, anywho.
Okay, finish.
Sure, go ahead.
You know that
So
one?
Danny and Matt. Sam gets a reference. Is that one of them?
Yes.
Yeah. I figured.
He didn't get the fucking hangover. Jesus Christ.
But Danny and Matt were lovely enough to spend some time with us. They were in
Absolutely.
town for the U.S. Soccer Federation's coaches forum, which happened in Baltimore this past weekend.
Yes.
And they came and spent some time as they have some ties with North American clubs, specifically a couple of U.S. clubs, youth academies, and which is why the youth coaches came over.
And Danny and I managed to be civil as Blue, and he's a
Liverpool
Liverpool
supporter,
supporter, and we were able to get along just fine.
And me and Matt were able to get along. Followed us on Instagram, by the way. I noticed
Awesome.
that. I've requested a follow of him because his account's private.
Aw.
But he is a Scouse man that follows Chelsea, supports Chelsea because of his dad.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, so whatever your father brings you up as, I guess that's what you are, which is why my daughter is a lifelong Arsenal supporter.
There is photographic proof of your daughter with a Everton wand,
She was
waving
too
and
young to know what
cheering
she was
and having
doing,
fun.
and she loves your wife.
Enjoyed throwing it around.
She loves your wife, and she was too young to know what she was doing and how much it hurt and
You
disappointed
and
her
Rob's
father.
daughter both.
Yep, and we rectified that situation shortly thereafter.
All right, so the Watford and Tranmere game, if they win, they get the lucky opportunity to host Manchester United on Sunday, 2 days later, 3 days later, technically.
So, the great equalizer in the FA Cup is the lower leagues sides pitch.
Yeah.
Typically, we saw City eventually put the stones to, was it Newport a couple of seasons ago? Like 4-1 or something like that, 4-0 maybe. But it took a while for the deadlock to be broken.
Newport, by the way, a ground in which that hosts 2 monster truck rallies a year.
Also,
that is what City, a rugby team as well.
Yeah.
And then the football club, and then there was one other thing too.
they grew potatoes on the pitch, I think it was.
And City had to play on it. It was really fun to watch City and all their prissiness try to manage a fucking pitch that hosts 2 monster truck rallies.
Yeah,
Probably the only
no.
2 monster truck rallies in all of England.
Correct, probably. Have you seen a potato patch?
Not recently.
Very bumpy.
I would imagine.
Yeah.
So,
They obviously don't farm potatoes on the pitch. but
aren't they worried about twisting an ankle?
Of course they are. Absolutely. Well, the League One side, or League Two side's not. League One.
No.
They're in League One, right?
So,
Yeah,
League One. So, what are we thinking? Tranmere, because they get
No,
Watford, it could make an ugly match and get a W, and then United has to come in and play yet again on an ugly pitch.
I think United will have a lot more problems with it than Watford will in
Right.
in this game, should Tranmere get through. My thing with this match is I think you're going to see Watford not really give a shit.
Oh,
Like
focus
they-
on the league. The
like
league
they-
cares.
Like
League
they,
cares.
Like they did the second half of this original game.
Right.
I think that plays right into Tranmere's hands. I think, I to be honest with you, I'm not sure about their league form. I don't think it's particularly good.
Nah, they're right in
And
the middle.
A cup run can truly galvanize a team. So I think you're going to see them take it seriously. I think
Right.
you're going to see them go for it. and maybe another goal from the was he 41?
Yeah.
He scored the equalizer.
Yeah.
They're forward. I think they're going to give it a proper go, and the right to host Manchester United is a massive draw for a club like Tranmere.
It's a lot
It really
of
is.
money.
All jokes aside,
And
I fuck
it's
with you
also-
about being on Merseyside and all that,
But it's also Manchester United's close, which means you'll get a lot of United supporters that come out too.
yep.
Now, I'll also let it be said, when we were joking about the Newport County field, that was a team in League Two that I believe barely survived staying up.
Yeah.
Tranmere is actually a club that's been established for a very long time, actually has some money. So, I mean, it's going to be a grass pitch.
I think they're the
That's-
second oldest club in Liverpool, aren't they?
Yeah.
I think they were founded just after.
It was Everton
Everton.
first, and then them.
Right, and then when
Liverpool.
y'all left Anfield, I think they started their club, or just before y'all left Anfield,
Yeah.
they started. And then the group of players that stayed behind founded Liverpool.
Right.
And so, but they've been thereabouts for a very, very long
Yeah.
time. They're
A lot-
a very go back and really the working class people's club. Seriously,
Right.
But they've been in the doldrums. They've never won a top flight. They've never won. I don't even know they've ever been in the top flight. To be honest,
I don't think
with you.
they have been.
So, a true working man's club, because the tickets have always been affordable. The all of those kind of tropes that
Right.
that everyone complains about all the time, which, and fair enough to them, not casting any shit
yeah,
on them,
of course.
but they really are the poor man's club, seriously.
Right.
And great on them. They still have a place in English folklore, and you can't let go that Dino is their number one.
Yeah, exactly.
I love it. I love everything about it. It's a match made in heaven.
Unfortunate nickname, but we still, little rooting for him.
No, absolutely. I want Tranmere to get through this match.
Oh, it's the beauty of this. It's the beauty of the cup. You just want to see these teams, the lower league sides, win. You just do. It's fun.
Oh yeah, and my dad's favorite, my late father's favorite artist was Elton John, and as much as I hate Fat Drake and a few of the players at Watford, I still I don't necessarily actively root for them to suck, because Elton John is such a big supporter of them, and my dad loved him so much.
Yep.
So I actually want Tranmere to win this game.
Likewise. So the
It's
other
always
thing,
just good too for the lower league
Yeah.
side to progress.
so let's mention real quick. There's only 3 instances where Premier League sides play other Premier League sides. So just we're not going to dive into it. Let's just say who we think's going to win. Burnley host Norwich. I think Burnley.
I think Norwich.
Oh, you think Norwich will give it?
Yeah, they need something to help galvanize them to turn their season around. I think this may be the catalyst.
Southampton host Tottenham. I think Southampton. They got him once already. I don't think Jose gives a fuck about this.
No, I would agree with you, because he's trying to secure Champions League football for next season.
And Bournemouth hosts Arsenal, and I think Bournemouth is desperately concerned on staying up, and I think Arsenal cruises.
Not a problem. Yep, I'm with you right there. Arsenal takes this one hands down.
All right, Sam, I figured since there's only 5 League 1/League 2 teams left, we'd spend this time kind of talking about each of them.
Sure.
This segment, let's go ahead and talk about the League 2 side, Northampton Town, who are going to host championship side Derby County.
And Derby in a bad way, by the way.
Yeah. So why don't you tell us a little bit about Northampton?
Sure. They were established in 1897, and they're based in the Midlands, just south of Leicester. Named the Cobblers because the town has a rich shoemaking history.
Go figure.
Is that where Doc Martens are made? Just wondering.
I don't know.
All
I
right.
don't know.
Hashtag admin.
Well, we got a producer grabbing her phone right now, not to play her island and not to play bingo, but to actually do producer research. How about that?
Some would call that production.
By the way, live admin was a square.
They made it up to the top flight only once, and that was in 1965 and 66. Beyond that, mostly league football. And their top rival is Peterborough United.
League 2, they're sitting towards the top. They're like, I want to say they were like 6th or 7th. You said Derby County's in a bad way.
Pompey's in 7th now.
Yeah, they're right around there.
So
No, Pompey's League 1. This is League 2.
Doc Marten boots.
Oh, fair enough.
Were
Yeah, yeah.
made in their
You're
Cobbs
absolutely right.
Lane factory in Wallestown, Northamptonshire.
Thank you very much.
Well
Thank you very
said,
much.
Samuel Graham.
If we weren't so early in the show, I'd just tell you to fuck off and do the rest of it yourself. Because that was a piece of knowledge, my friend.
You know what?
We do not have a square of Sam getting a piece of knowledge correct.
to
Sorry.
actually, you know what, Sam Graham?
Yes.
To reference one of your all-time favorite shows,
Okay.
Seinfeld, you should pull a Costanza and just go,
I'm out.
I'm out.
I'm out.
That's it.
Hold on. Are we counting that as Graham?
No,
gets a
because he
Houston
told me the reference.
I
He
told
told
him
me
the
it was
reference.
Seinfeld.
Damn it.
You're going to have to do better than that.
I almost had another bingo.
No, I'm not throwing you a softball. I threw her softball because I was fucking with her all around the plate. I was throwing balls that were just a little outside that she didn't want to swing at. I was like, okay, fine. Here's your fucking softball swing. I just felt like fucking with her. Pardon me.
I think Northampton might take this,
Really?
to be honest. Derby
Yeah.
are in a bad way. They're not playing well in the championship at all.
Which is funny because normally the team that loses in the promotion match tends to typically have like a really galvanizing season.
Yeah,
the next year.
But Mason Mount was such a huge part of what they did last
That's
season.
true. Very true.
And Frank Lampard, obviously, they lost their coach as well in the summer.
Right.
So I think that was too great of a turnover, to be honest with you. I don't think they spent very big in the summer. And then you also had now they may have some sort of galvanizing run here coming up because they did just acquire Wayne Rooney
Right.
from DC United.
Player coach.
Player coach. That's right.
Do you think he comes out and scores one in this match?
Nope. I think he's rested in this match, to be honest, because they're worried about the championship survival. I think they're down in like 17th.
Did you see?
Not far above the relegation zone. Remember, there's 24 teams in the
Just an
championship.
odd thing. QPR beat Leeds this weekend.
Second half of the season, Bielsa. You saw how they played in the second half against
Yeah.
Arsenal in the last round of the FA Cup.
I don't know how West Brom did today, but they're starting to run away with it.
A little bit.
Yeah. That in Millwall is like in the top 10. When
You
is
fucked that- you
Millwall
fucked that
ever
right
in the
off.
top 10?
You fucked that right
Ever.
off. I don't want any part of that in the
Yeah.
Premier League. I
No.
really-
Oh, God, no.
I really don't.
Oh, God, no. None of that. Not their supporters, for hell no.
I have to take a year off from going to England. They might kill me.
All right, let's go ahead and talk about the League One side. So Newcastle, surprisingly advancing. Welcome League One side Oxford United. So, Sammy, go ahead and tell us about Oxford United.
They were established in 1893 as Headington United. For all the DU After Dark subscribers, we'll talk about that later. Based in South Central England. Yes, it's where the university is, and nicknamed the U's. Their primary rival is Swindon Town, and their most famous supporter is the billionaire Richard Branson. I also think, I might be mistaken, but I thought Paul Scholes was no, that's Oldham. Damn.
Oldham. Yeah,
Damn.
Oldham.
Damn.
Huh.
How is where's the square on Sam getting knowledge wrong and correcting himself on it?
Oh, I already checked that 1 month ago.
I'm actually I'm a little disappointed in myself in my writing. I wrote this and I really thought I'd get an eyebrow out of Richard Branson being a
Why would I give you an eyebrow?
just the Virgin Atlantic guy, and like
To
you'd
be
like,
fair, I'm surprised he hasn't
oh,
bought him yet.
wow, like
Why hasn't he
I mean-
bought him yet?
he's an Oxford fan.
Oh, wow. Richard Branson's an Oxford fan. Is that what you wanted? Isn't that the
You know
Virgin
what it is.
Atlantic guy?
He pays too much for maternity and paternity leave is what it is.
I want you to hit the fucking mute button. Is what I want you to do.
He
Ooh, there's a
does.
square for that.
He does the moral thing instead
Yeah.
of buying his childhood football team, and he actually pays well for maternity and paternity leave. Year paid for his employees.
Unlike
Both of them,
someone who
even the
likes-
men.
Unlike someone who likes to be referred to as Mr. Schneider.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. All right.
Mel, who's that?
Dan Schneider.
Oh.
The Redskins.
He's a twat.
You can't even get that
He-
reference.
He hid a
You can't even get that
it's
reference.
a random American football reference.
It's not that random.
It's your favorite football team. Jesus Christ, how many softballs do I have to throw you?
They actually
She should have hit that one out of the park 5 times by now.
They actually hid a cancer diagnosis, as far as I know, from Trent Williams, which is why he's holding out on playing.
Yeah. It was a growth in his head.
Yeah.
Bunch of cunts.
Yeah, pretty much.
Let's go.
Alrighty. What do we think? We think Oxford's got a chance?
No, because I think Newcastle actually, being at home with those faithful Geordies behind them, I think that they will actually want and relish to get into the 5th round of the FA Cup for the first time under Mike Ashley.
I agree. Very much
I
agree.
don't see them with the requisite quality to really trouble Newcastle, and I think Newcastle put out a strong side. I really do.
Newcastle is relatively safe within the league.
Exactly. That's
Why-
the catalyst. That's the big difference.
Why not have a fucking run at the cup, right?
Yep.
If you keep getting the right opponent, next thing you know, you're in the semifinal and then you have to play somebody big. Why the fuck not?
Why, yeah, go for it. Why not?
Why not go for it?
Absolutely. Look, come on, Brucey. Come on, Brucey.
Alrighty. So this next one is a club we've talked about last season, but I still want to talk about them again.
Pompey.
League One Portsmouth host championship side Barnsley. We actually plan on catching a match when we're over there in England. We're going to go down to the south coast to see Portsmouth play. I want to say Stevenage.
I think that's right. Yeah.
On a Tuesday, they're playing. They're
Is
playing
it a
there.
Tuesday? I would have preferred that to be on a Monday so we could maybe catch some Champions League football
Funny-
on a Tuesday. But that's all right.
Funny enough, it was them and Stevenage played each other in the FA Cup, so they immediately rescheduled because their League One game that weekend was supposed to be those two facing each other. So, like, literally the easiest game to ever reschedule if there was ever a game you could reschedule.
Right, yeah.
It was like, oh, yeah, we were supposed to play you cunts this weekend. Let's go ahead and play you cunts now. In
Absolutely.
a different competition.
Yeah.
So,
So
talk to
Pompey.
us.
Pompey.
Yes.
Established in 1898, located on the south coast and nicknamed Pompey, which we've
Pompey.
already alluded to. You can chat about the fall of Pompey.
Yeah, that's me just giving you
Oh.
something to pontificate on if
Sorry.
you read your notes ahead of time.
Why would I do that?
Please tell me there's a square that says Sam Graham does not read his notes and fucks it up.
So Portsmouth,
Taylor, I'm disappointed
were
that you didn't say Sam Graham doesn't read the notes.
still the record holders for consecutive years holding the FA Cup. They hold that because
There was this little thing called World War II.
Yeah, they won it in 1939. So their FA Cup was not played until the war's conclusion. So they did hold the FA Cup for about 6 years.
Yep.
That is the only reason.
Yeah.
They were a Premier League club for a very long time that was run
Very long
very,
time.
very, very poorly.
Yeah.
To the point where they couldn't pay their players, they couldn't do a lot of things, and ended up being liquidated. They went
While they were in the Premier League.
Yep. They
Like-
went into a thing called administration. And what administration is when you can't pay your creditors, the English tax authorities send people in, accountants, pencil pushers, to run your club, basically, and sell off assets until you can pay those creditors back. The problem is Portsmouth didn't have any viable assets, really, to speak of. So they ended up liquidating the company. They liquidated that company to a new owner. He bought most of it, and then he set up a new, I guess, LLC or whatever I don't know what their terms are there. Set up a new company, Portsmouth, and they were subsequently relegated year after year until they found their way back from League Two to League One recently, 5 years ago maybe.
Yeah.
And they've been in League One since and have been playing fairly well, actually, the last few years. Kenny Jackett in charge of that club.
They made it to the promotional playoffs, but didn't advance.
But did not
last
advance.
year.
Yeah, they lost to Sunderland, I think it was.
Might have been Sunderland.
And then I think Sunderland actually lost in the League One final.
Yeah.
The playoff final.
Right. Yeah. And Sunderland stayed down.
Stayed down. Yeah. But yeah, no, they definitely played in the in the playoffs there. But yeah, a big fall from grace. I mean, they had players like Jermaine Defoe at one point. They had
Daniel James, who was England's number 1.
the goalkeeper. Yeah,
Yeah.
Ended up player coach in India somewhere.
Their
at one
last
point.
game, well, it wasn't. Their last game as a Premier League club was an FA Cup final because they finished in 20th that season.
Mm-hmm.
And well, here's the big thing: we've talked about administration before. This typically happens once you fall out of the top flight, not
Right.
while
You're in the top flight,
in
yeah.
one of the wealthiest leagues in the world. Is not when
To be
you
fair,
normally fall apart, and that's when they fell apart.
At the time, this money that's being thrown around now by the TV companies
Wasn't there yet.
was
Yeah,
not
it was,
being thrown around.
Fox still had TV rights, and it was all replays.
It was Fox Sports World still, I think it was.
Yeah,
You
it
know,
wasn't
that kind of stuff.
big.
It was not good for them. And yeah, a massive fall from grace. I mean, they had at one point they had Sol Campbell, they had Nico Cranshaw, Harry
Yeah.
Redknapp was their manager. They had a lot of things, and yeah, it all went nuts up. To be honest with you, their biggest rival was Southampton, in what's considered the real South Coast derby. Even though we have now 2 teams, well now 3 teams, Southampton included, on the South Coast in the Premier League, as Bournemouth and Brighton also find themselves
Right.
in that lovely part of the world.
And Brighton considers their rival Palace, and then they kind of
Which
call
still don't know why.
they call Southampton Bournemouth the South Coast rivalry, like the South Coast Derby. It's not.
Well, because
the
they're-
South Coast
yeah.
Derby is Southampton and Pompey.
And Pompey. Yeah, absolutely.
That's the big one.
100%. 100%. But the Premier League is trying to write a narrative. And
Right.
you have teams on the South Coast. Like, Arsenal, Chelsea is more of both teams were successful recently and, fairly recently.
And they happen to be in London.
And they happen to be in London. But really, it's the North London Derby, and that's it. And
Yeah.
you get, now because of the Olympic Stadium, you get Tottenham West Ham is a huge rival. But really, West Ham, it's Millwall, and that's the end of it.
And
But
it's
so there's
Chelsea, it's Fulham, and
Right.
even to a lesser extent, Fulham, West Ham, Millwall, and Chelsea are all kind of around the same area.
No, Chelsea and Fulham are in West London.
Oh, okay. I thought
No,
South
West Ham's
London.
in East London.
I thought West Ham was South London.
No,
my
West Ham's
apologies.
in East London, just
Okay.
north of the Thames.
Okay,
and
gotcha,
Millwall's
gotcha.
just south of the Thames.
Okay,
But
yeah. So over
supporters
here.
for both
Gotcha.
clubs traditionally are dock workers.
Yeah.
On the Thames. Yep.
Oh, heard.
And they're hard dockers, so they fight and beat the shit out of each other. 2 of the strongest firms in England, traditionally.
All right, so let's go ahead and get into the next one. League One, Coventry City.
We didn't say, who do you think's going to win? We didn't do that.
Probably Barnsley. I mean, the Barnsley's sitting in the top of. I think they're number 4th place right now in the championship.
I think they're number 4.
I think they're 4th place.
Don't know. I do know Barnsley is having a good season by their standards.
Yeah.
For sure. And Pompey is actually playing fairly well. I think they're in 7th in League One. But you got to think the championship quality shows through, especially from somebody that's playing so well. But it is at Portsmouth's ground.
Yeah.
And they are a raucous bunch down there. So you could run into a situation where the atmosphere gets to the Barnsley players. They could be more focused on the league, trying to make the playoffs and get into the Premier League.
Right. I mean, honestly, a lot of this really comes down to what happens in the first 15. Portsmouth scores. Okay, got a game.
Absolutely.
If the superior side goes out there and puts one in quick, all right, game's over. Like,
Fair
it just
enough.
that's what happens in the FA Cup. It's, if you're the top team should always win. That's just how it should always be.
But that's why we love this game, is because that's not always the case.
But if the game's a little scrappy, there's a few calls that don't go their way, they start getting annoyed. Like, it just,
They're away from home and the pitch sucks.
It just starts
It's
to
all
kind
of those things. Absolutely.
It
And
starts to falter.
That's why the magic of this cup for me is still alive.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I agree.
That's why it's still alive. You have a Premier League team sometimes reduced to playing, fucking youth team football on a pitch that looks like a potato patch.
Right.
You know, it's lovely. That I love
And you
that.
could watch them play. You could tell they don't like it. They
Yeah.
do not like.
No,
like,
it makes them
they're-
completely uncomfortable because
They're
they're used to playing.
annoyed by it.
They're
Like,
used to
why
playing
am
on
I
a carpet.
here?
Yeah, they're used to playing on a carpet on a perfectly manicured pitch by a team of groundskeepers that could run any golf club in the world. You know
Doesn't
what I mean?
matter how many days it's been raining. It's all
No,
drained
it's
off.
Perfect.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, under
Yep.
the under field warmers, everything. So at least the ground's warm, right? It doesn't freeze up. These League One, League Two sides don't have that.
Right.
They don't have any of that, and it's a joy to watch. It's fun. This is David against Goliath. That's the pleasure of it.
That's the sell. That's absolutely the sell.
100%.
So League One, Coventry City welcomes championship and Villa's biggest rivalry, Birmingham City. Sam, what can you tell us about Coventry City?
Sure, they were established in 1883 and is in the West Midlands of England. They're nicknamed the Sky Blues, and Coventry have had a long run in the top flight, being relegated actually in 2004 and almost put into administration in 2007. Their biggest win and only title was in 1987, where they beat Tottenham in the FA Cup.
Thought you'd be a little happier about that line.
It is very pleasing.
And then in 1988, lost the Community Shield to the league winners Everton.
There you go. Last bit of silverware you picked up.
Yeah, that was something.
According to
won
Jose Mourinho, it's part of the treble.
well, no. In order to be in the Community Shield, because they won the FA Cup, what did that mean we did the year
They
before?
won the league.
Yeah, that's all.
They won the league.
What did Everton do?
They won the league, but Liverpool won
Thank you.
it sooner.
Isolate that.
Liverpool won it sooner. Their biggest rivalries are
30,
Aston
35
Villa,
years.
obviously.
What's really the difference? Go ahead.
Their biggest rivals are Aston Villa, Coventry, and Leicester. But since going out of the Premier League, their biggest rival is the opponent for this round.
Yep.
Look at that
Birmingham
writing.
City.
Look at you. Look at the
Birmingham
writing
City.
for that. Well done.
Yeah. Birmingham City would be their
He's over
current
there
biggest
grinning
rival.
about it too.
He is.
I was very proud of it.
He's got that
So
shit
proud
eating
of
grin
himself.
right on. Yeah.
I was typing this up today, and there were a lot of distractions. And I'm very proud of what I typed up today.
So there you go.
Me and Auburn.
Yes.
I don't know how Coventry is doing, to be honest, in League One.
All four of the League One sides are top half of the table.
I don't think the Brummies are doing too hot, though. I think they're firmly mid-table in the championship.
Yeah, mid to low.
Yeah, and if it says Coventry hosts them, right? Doesn't it?
Yeah.
Coventry
like-
may have a chance in this
I
game.
like Coventry.
I do.
I do, too.
Coventry has a big chance in this game, especially if Birmingham are sitting in
Because
a
if I
little
recall,
bit of trouble.
if I recall, Coventry went down last season. They were in the championship last season, if I recall.
Right. And
So-
now they're top half, if not top four or so
Yeah.
in League One. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
This is a game that screams, yeah, let's give them the old fuck you.
I'm with you.
Very much so.
I'm with you. I think Coventry takes this.
All right. So let's see here. Oh, yep, here we go. Final game has League One side Shrewsbury Town to host the best team in England currently.
In the world.
Yeah, Liverpool. So tell us about Shrewsbury Town, Sam.
Surely I will. Established in 1886, the same year that Arsenal were established, by the way. Mel, so you know.
Oh, thanks.
Not a problem.
Now I know things.
In the Shropshire, which is south of Liverpool and west of Birmingham. They're on opposite sides of the country, so...
Liverpool, Leicester. It's like boom, boom.
But you said
That's
Birmingham.
great for an audio medium.
West of Birmingham, south of Liverpool. So
Oh,
they
I
just
am
north
sorry.
of London?
I meant, no. Here's Liverpool. Here's Birmingham.
Which is up.
Birmingham's
which
a
is
little further
over.
north than that based on your
Okay.
hand position.
South of Liverpool,
No, it's
west
tits.
of west of Birmingham.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Fair
So
enough.
He's grabbing the tits.
Fair
of
enough. That
England.
makes more
he had
sense.
His hands up like that.
He did. That makes more sense. The way, now that I see it visually.
Which makes no sense to everybody listening.
So I wrote it correctly. You just read it wrong.
They are nicknamed the Shrews. They spent a little time in the second division, but most of their time has been in League 1 and 2. And their rivals are Walsall Football Club, and apparently have a mutual friendship with Newcastle.
Yeah, there's like this like supporter
Like
thing.
Sisters Club or something?
Yeah, that they apparently both just go like, you fuck off, we fuck off. We're fucking
this
fans.
would be the second castle for Two Castle.
Hey,
Yes!
It finally comes to a head.
There you have it.
Finally, ooh, I like when we all yell.
Makes a pretty thing on my board.
Made like a titty on the screen there.
Sammy likes the titties.
I do. Very fond.
B squad beats the crap out of them.
Yeah, kicks the absolute shit out of them.
Yeah,
I will go as far as to say as Liverpool's kids will be shrewd. And put the stones to Shrewsbury.
you're reaching now.
No, I'm not.
You really want me to do the drum roll again?
It was
it's
brilliant.
not going to happen.
That was very good.
No,
All right,
it
fine.
wasn't.
You know
It
what?
was-
You know what, fucker? You know what? Mel, can I get a broom?
But no matter how many times you're going to do it,
glass
it's
is
not going to
garbage.
sound better.
This glass sucks.
Write down that edit.
No edit.
No, leave
edit.
it in. Leave it in. That's fine.
No edit. Graham fucking sucks balls.
I do not suck balls, by the way.
All the balls. All of them.
I do not suck balls.
Saw my balls.
I did see them.
That's a
I did
square,
not suck
by the way.
them.
My balls is a square on here. It
Very
doesn't give
good.
me bingo, though, because you're missing a square.
All right. So finally, Sam, I actually wanted to point out a couple of trap games that are worth mentioning as championship sides.
Are these drug hubs in the UK? Or?
Exactly.
Thirst traps.
Yes. Championship sides are facing Premier League clubs. First one is West Ham to host West Bromwich Albion, who is currently top of the league and fucking cruising.
Listen, I'm not talking about this game unless I have like some Lil Yachty or something to talk over it
Who's
to.
the coach of West Ham?
David Moisiola.
I got
No.
the bingo.
Sorry, David Moisiola.
She walked you in. What did you get for this one?
Oh, nope, never mind. I call it back. That was not a bingo.
We're running
Hey,
out
what
of...
does Malort taste like?
I'm not talking about it. You can't do that.
What does it taste like? I
That's
can.
cheap.
No.
I can.
That's cheap.
I can.
No.
When you tell a
cheated.
stranger what it tastes
You
like,
cheated. You
Sam's
cheated.
Grundle.
no one said I couldn't. Come
Taylor?
on, say it. Say
Taylor,
it.
do you see
Say
what
it.
you reduced her
Give
to?
me my bingo.
That's cheap, man. That's real cheap.
No. Why don't you tell us the rest of the stuff, and that way we at least know.
It's as if earwax had diarrhea.
And he said it wrong.
On purpose.
Damn it.
On purpose.
God damn it.
Sorry,
West Ham
Ross.
Ooh, that's a queer.
That's only because I'm a nice human being.
So for that bingo, it is my balls. Houston misses the post. Sorry, Russ. Houston hits the post, and Graham audibly hits the vape. I just need 2 more squares for a blackout.
Fine. It's like if earwax threw up.
I still need 2 more squares for a blackout.
How did he just give you one and you still need two?
Because I can't count. I need 3 more squares.
So what's in that one? What's in that row?
Well,
Was that another bingo?
for Earwax Threw Up, that is Moisiola. Earwax Threw Up, To Be Honest, My Balls, and To Be Fair.
Very good. To be fair. It's only a small handful of people. Rice is losing his fucking mind right now because
Rice
I
the-
went
yeah.
to be fair.
That's another reference he's not going to get.
No, it's not. And
Why
just,
don't you get any of his references?
I don't know. Just say something about Festivus so she can shut the fuck up.
Yeah. No, I already gave you a Seinfeld reference.
All right, then say something about Arsenal.
You never get any of his
All right.
music references.
All right. So West Ham,
All right, I'm starting to burp into the
West
mic. It's
West
time to
Ham
go.
hosting West Brom.
Both of them, to be honest, are playing very well. I think West Ham with David Martin in goal may be under the cosh a little bit, to be fair. West Brom are high-flying, playing very well. Leeds have slipped a bit, and I think they have a good chance to advance here, to be honest.
I I'm sorry, Chris, but West Brom winning. West Brom's winning.
You don't want to play West Brom at this point in time the way that they're playing currently. They're playing very well.
They're on
Minus
fire.
maybe 1 or 2 results. They're playing very well over the last couple of months.
They're on fire. You need to worry about staying up. It doesn't matter. They're going to get them. Like I really think. I think this is absolutely positively a West Brom win.
I don't know. You get West Ham with the bubbles in the air, everybody at home singing, the Dildo Brothers up there drinking champagne.
No, I don't see it. Don't see it.
I don't know.
I think this is West Brom all day. I think this is a major
Is
trap
this the
game.
round that we go straight to pens?
Yes.
Or is that the 5th round?
I think it's this round. It's
This
straight to
round.
pens. Yeah.
I could see West Brom winning on penalties, if that's any consolation to the West Ham supporters that listen to us.
Mm-hmm.
And if it goes to penalties, I could also see West Ham winning.
Yeah.
David Martin, FA Cup, boyhood supporter. Dad played for the club. Legend at the club. See him coming up with a save in pens.
West Ham, you've gotten a lot of love from me before. This one, I think it's West Brom all day.
It very well could be. You can make an
really
argument for
do.
any result in this match.
Yeah.
To be honest. You really could. Because West Ham have played much improved
Right.
under Moyes. They should, on paper, beat a championship side, even the top championship side.
But if you look at it ultimately, this is 6 spots apart from one another.
Well, fair enough. Yeah. If you put the Premier League down to League
Yeah.
2 on top
It's
of each
six-
other,
6
they're
spots
only
apart.
separated by 6 spots in
Yeah.
the pyramid.
Yeah.
6 spots, not pots. I know what I said. I know I said pots.
All right. So final game. Let's get this over and done with.
That's
We've
why I
been
corrected
going
We're at
strong.
40 minutes.
Nice.
That's not bad.
Nice. That's not
I
too
forgot
bad.
to give
Alright.
you guys little notes. Like,
That's fine.
So 4th place in the championship, Brentford welcome 3rd place in the Premier League, Leicester City.
Let's just fuck them up.
I'm
Jamie Vardy came from this. Started
That's-
from the bottom, now he's here. You know what I'm saying? Jamie Vardy is going to fuck them up if he plays.
I have Leicester to win the whole thing.
I feel-
Really?
the FA Cup.
Yes,
Huh.
I do.
Look at you.
Kitty had some inside intel.
She broke up with him, though. He's distraught. He
well-
missed a pen this weekend.
He's going to get back.
He was thinking about Kitty when he missed that pen.
I know he was.
Thinking about that chicken head.
Tanya.
Chicken about the... Chicken.
Oh, my God.
Fuck it.
Got
Thinking
ya.
about those chicken breasts is what I was trying to say.
Yeah, but
Which
I
would have
said
been
that-
funnier had I got the fucking joke out.
Yeah, my joke was better. Sorry.
I guess I should be careful about putting all my eggs in one basket. No? All right, I'll hit the mute button.
It didn't hit as good as you thought it would.
I just like when she hits herself because she knows she failed me. That pleases me when I know that you each know you failed me. That pleases me so much.
You know what I love? How we are probably 3 of the most woke people that I know. And yet the misogyny on the show is absolutely fucking ridiculous.
Oh my God, it's ridiculous.
And it's simply for the listener's enjoyment. Like it's strictly an entertainment thing.
Dare I say, I might be slightly masochistic. Did I get it
Almost.
that time? Damn
Masochistic.
it. Damn it.
Derek, you didn't pay for it? That's why she fucked it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is...
Insert prostitution joke.
I feel like because they will have not played their League Cup game yet against Villa, where they tied 1-1, and that was an away goal for Villa. So Villa has the advantage on aggregate in the League Cup.
I don't know if they do away goals in the League Cup.
They do.
You sure?
Yeah, because it's the semifinal. The semifinal is a head-to-head.
Yeah, no,
with
I know
aggregate.
it is. I know it is, but I don't know that they do away goals.
They
That's
do.
Particular rule.
They do.
We'll have to look that up.
Yeah.
Mel,
But
she's on it.
the point that I was getting at is Leicester, because they had such a great start, felt like they might actually have a shot at the title. Now recognizing that they don't, they're going to be hungry for a cup.
And I hate to do this, but put all their eggs in this basket.
Yeah. Very good.
No, I hate to do it because she said it already.
Yeah.
But I think that's I think she's right.
They're gonna have a proper side on
Yep.
to play this match.
Yep.
They're gonna have a go.
Yep.
Because they feel like I guarantee you they feel like they could beat Liverpool on any day. They could beat City on any day. They could beat United on any day. They could beat Chelsea on any day.
And it's true they can.
In a League Cup game. They feel like they can.
Absolutely.
And I think,
But it's true they could beat them in the Premier League as well. They've shown it already, right? It's true that they can sustain a 38-game Premier League season. So in these one-offs with Jamie Vardy's pace and tenacity and ruthlessness, with Iniacho coming off the bench, he's shown recently that he's got goals in him still.
Yep.
Even though he's still very young, he just has never been a consistent player. You've got Tillemans, you've got Madison, you've got Harvey Barnes, you've got all these players. I think Ben Chilwell plays and plays well in this game.
Yeah.
I think this may be the turning point for his confidence to get him back to the player he was at the beginning of the season.
I think they had Fuchs playing this past weekend.
Yeah, Christian Fuchs played this past weekend. Ben Chilwell got dropped.
Yeah.
Much like we've talked about, I said Nicolas Pepe should have been dropped at the beginning of the season for a few weeks to let him settle in and relax. I think that's what old Brendy Rodgers is doing to Ben Chilwell. A lot of the conversation surrounding Leicester in the press is about Chilwell playing poorly. And I think he's dropped him to let him fucking calm down for a second, take a deep breath, just go to training, go home, spend time with your family, come back, go to training, go home, spend time with your family, have a nice steak dinner, calm the fuck down, and then we'll restore you to the side and you'll be fine.
Yeah. Fair.
And he needs it, to be honest. He was on a terrible run of form. And I think he may come back into this game when the spotlight's not really on them, and they should win to allow him to grow back to the player he was.
I mean, simply put, you have a good chance to advance in the League Cup because, while, Villa did get the point against you in your building, Villa still, they got to worry about staying up. So you got a chance in the League Cup, and the FA Cup is really, that's the big one. Go for it.
Yeah, why not? Absolutely. Why not?
I mean, no offense, but yeah, I think they're going to roll.
And either way,
As strongly as I feel about West Brom beating West Ham, I feel strongly that Leicester's going to win this match.
yeah, I could agree with that. The other thing is, who really cares about the away goals, to be honest? Villa's going to be worried about staying in the league.
Yeah.
And I think they're going to fuck off the second leg of the...
Well, if away
They'll
goes...
get... Hold on. I'm sorry. I didn't mean that. They're going to give it a go. But Leicester's going to overpower them.
Well,
period.
here's the thing. If away goals do matter...
Did you find it, by the way?
I don't understand.
Okay. That's fine. Okay, let's just
I
assume...
get confused between FA Cup and Caraboo.
That's the Carabao Cup, is the League
Which
Cup.
also is not sold in England. I don't know why they were allowed to be a sponsor.
Why have I not heard you guys say the word Caraboo?
Because I don't
Carabao.
agree with it. It's a bullshit sponsorship.
It's fine.
I hate it.
We just always call it the League Cup.
Because that's what it is.
Yeah. And we always
They
call
sold the
FA Cup
naming
the
rights
FA
to
Cup.
Carabao, which is an energy drink in India.
Yeah.
That's not sold in England at all. Why are you allowed to sponsor it?
Yeah, it's the FA Cup.
No,
I mean,
it's
the
the
League
League Cup.
League Cup.
It's stupid.
Sorry.
Okay, well, this says the rule change means that no domestic competition in England now employs the away goes rule.
When
Away
was
goals
that written?
That was written. That's the first. That's the first thing on Google. Written in 2019.
Wait,
This year.
This year. Go back. What's the website? Is it the Daily Mail?
inews.co.uk.
iNews. I knew that. Okay.
Okay. All right. I assuming that I thought that the away goals
I had to
mattered.
get that back in. I knew.
Yes. Assuming that I thought the away goals mattered, I figured Villa goes in, packs the bus, gets a 0-0 draw, and advances.
No,
Now it means
No,
a
I hear
0-0
you.
draw
I
means
hear
you take your chances on penalties.
No, absolutely. I hear you. Fair enough.
And
You're
again, Leicester
correct.
got to go to Villa, and Villa looks at it as, here's a chance.
Here's a chance to go down and have European football next year.
Yeah.
Don't
There's
know
still
if
some
they-
money.
Well, fair enough.
Um,
But will they keep their players? They'll just get embarrassed.
So, any parting words?
Apparently, the away goal rule was introduced in the League Cup for the 80-81 season.
Wow, for a while now. Okay, go ahead, Sam. Parting words.
I think I'm all right, to be honest.
Just crashing into the end of this show,
No, I
aren't
think
we?
I'm good.
And now I'm reading.
Third show. I've had a lot of parting words the last 2 shows that we've recorded tonight that people have listened to, hopefully.
So, a little teaser when we get to the next international break, when they do the little league break that they're going to do.
No, the winter break here now. Yeah.
I want to talk about financial fair play.
Oh,
and
fuck.
and how
That means research, Mel.
and how the idea ultimately of financial fair play was meant to level the playing field, but ultimately is only protecting the wealthy clubs.
It's the football version of Reaganomics.
Yeah, it is absolutely because you look at a team like Villa who just came up, and they had to spend money to make sure that they had the proper lineup to stay up
Right.
because they had gotten a lot of loanee players the year before, a.k.a. Tammy Abraham, right? And now they're under investigation for financial fair play.
They will be fine from this investigation.
Yeah.
The quick version, just real quick, we'll go in depth.
Yeah.
I promise you.
Oh, trust me, this is a conversation I definitely want to have.
But the quick version is they hedge their bets, right? They have a guaranteed minimum amount of money that's coming in because of the season in the Premier League. They spent less than that minimum amount.
Yeah.
They'll be fine for this season. The problem is that Villa, after spending the last 3 or so and being so poor in the league the couple years prior, just take them as the case example. They have lost a ton of international fans. When the game became that much more global, they did not capture the audience like Manchester City. Big
Right.
spending Manchester City. Arsenal has been massive forever. Manchester United is the biggest club in the world, the richest club in the world. Liverpool has had people forever, right? International fans forever. They did not capture that audience when the money was good. They went down and fell out of the consciousness of the international community. And their jersey sales, their, advert hits on their website,
Right,
all
of
of that
course.
dropped as a result. Yeah. And so that whole TV budget was all spent on that $100 million,
Right.
right? Or close to it. I still think they have their books covered, but close to their entire TV budget was spent. And that's the difference.
20
That's
years
the difference.
20 years ago, actually more like 15 years ago, that was City. And they spent 5 years spending more money than they were making to eventually become the club they became. 25, 30 years ago, that was Chelsea, who lost money for 5 years.
Less than that, but yes.
In order to get to that
Less than that. That was
point.
10, 12 years ago, but yeah.
Chelsea was back in the 90s.
No,
So that's
was it now?
25 years now.
Ugh,
Yeah,
might be.
25 years now.
No, we got to see when Abramovich bought the club. But
Yeah,
when
it
he came in,
it was the late 80s, early 90s when he came in.
Abramovich came in the late 90s, early 2000s. Guaranteed.
Their first influx of money was the late 80s, was 88 to the 92.
Okay.
Yeah,
Abramovich, though, himself,
Right.
one of the richest men in the world, came in
right.
in the late 90s, early 2000s.
So now
and that's when he was just writing checks
now
for
the
no
rule,
reason.
So now the rule has been written, and nobody else is allowed to do it.
Right. Exactly.
But the teams that got there are allowed to stay there.
Exactly.
Kind of fucked
And
up.
now they've got their international following. They've got their jersey sales. They've got their advert
Yeah.
hits. They've got all those things that I mentioned. They have all that.
Yeah,
We'll go more in depth in a couple weeks.
yeah. I think
But that's the short
gonna
answer.
That's going to be a fun topic, I think, to kind of
That's the short answer. That's the trickle down economics.
Yeah.
That's the bullshit that you know.
Because what got sold to the fans was this was going to level the playing field, and it did
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
not level the playing field at all.
In theory, like Reaganomics, in theory, it's fantastic. But there's no rule that says that you have to, since you're making more money, you have to pay your people more money. There's no rule that says you have to do that.
Yep.
They just anticipated companies doing it, and they fucking didn't.
Nope.
And so we'll get into it in a couple weeks. It's a big thing.
Yep.
Don't worry about it.
No blackout for Mel because we're not going to talk about what defenses do, honey. So you have yourself a lovely.
What do defenses do?
when-
I just want to know what the square is.
So she's about
Mate,
to
you're
press
6s
things.
and 7s.
That's what you wanted to hear.
Nobody was at 6s and 7s this
Yeah, I also
And you
didn't
just
get
said
you
it.
to
weekend. We ended the
say-
game. No, we ended the game.
You didn't say I wasn't born yet. But you
Although I
were-
wasn't born for
to
a
be
couple
fair,
of references.
I told Taylor you were never going to get a Houston reference, and no matter how many times we tried, you didn't. So
Well, the
To
one
be
I-
fair.
the one I would have gotten, he said Seinfeld in the build-up to.
yeah, you fucked me on that one.
To be fair.
And you didn't say play up or down to their opponent.
To be fair, he was already
To be
drunk.
fair.
He was already drunk.
All right, this has dragged on way too much.
Yep. Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Hey.
Yes!
I like when we all yell. Made like a titty on the screen there.